What's going on, everybody out there? Music of Destruction, back with another mobile walk and talk video. It's a bit later tonight than usual when I do these. It's around like 10 o'clock Sunday night. I hope you guys are having a good start to your week of this already 22 days into 2023. Wow, 342 days to go of this year. And so for tonight's video, we're going to do black metal personalities, and this is part 2. And tonight we're going to talk about death metalers, because I think death metalers definitely have a little bit of contrast depending on the type of death metaler. There are some contrasting differences between certain facets of their personalities and different subsections of their personalities, things of that nature. So we're gonna go up this street here just to be safe, because I do know how to walk in my city without getting accosted at night. Certain areas you avoid, like any big city, bigger city. My city's not that big, but it's big enough. So from my own experience, death metalers tend to have long hair. Some of them have dreadlocks. Some will have tattoos. A lot of them wear sunglasses a lot. I mean, I need to get myself a new pair of shades. As far as jewelry goes, some of them will wear chains, some of them won't. Now, some of them will wear battle vests, others will not. Some death metalers wear bullet belts, others do not. That's another thing. Like, bullet belts are commonly seen as like the staple for black metalers or thrash. No, there's death metalers that wear bullets too, bullet belts. Now, a lot of death metalers you'll see wearing camo colors, and usually very, very gnarly, disgustingly offensive shirts of death metal bands. We'll just name the obvious: Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Morbid Angel, Necrophagia, Autopsy, Obituary, Death, those types of shirts with the really offensive imagery. Usually they'll have extensive horror movie collections and be very fascinated with the macabre and horror and gore, violence, dismemberment, shock. And typically, now these are old school death metalers, don't like the new tech death shit or too much technicality in their death metal. Now, old school, I guess you could say, death metal that had a little bit more technicality would be bands like Nile. Okay, so we could put Nile in there. Of course, Nile's amazing, one of my favorite death metal bands too. And they definitely don't like the new tech death wankery. I don't know many death metalers of old that like the tech death jerk off fest or the fucking slam craze, okay? Now, I'm not saying, again, these are just my opinions and my observations of knowing other death metalers. Me being primarily a black metal freak, you guys know that. I did that in my last video. I talked about our personality types. And remember, I'm just giving you my observations. So in no way are these facts. These are my opinions on different metal personalities. We're talking about death metalers. So usually, now, they will have an extensive amount of CDs. A lot of them will collect tapes, vinyls, And generally, they don't like the digital revolution, although they're a lot less elitist about it than us black metal freaks. And they're pretty, usually they're pretty easygoing people. I mean, they're not going to be your big social butterflies. They are freaks, like black metal freaks. Death metalers are freaks as well. But I do find them to be a lot more social than black metal freaks. I do see some death metalers that enjoy partying. They enjoy going out to see friends. They'll go to concerts. Now, will death metalers go to the bar for a pint with their buddies? Yeah, most likely. Most likely. Now, I'm not saying they all will, but they usually do. They will go and party when they feel the urge. They're not overly social, but they're a lot more social than black metalers, black metal freaks, definitely. And as far as their circle of friends, I mean, they obviously will have a larger circle of friends than black metalers. There are certain death metal people I do know, though, that enjoy solitude quite a bit, but I don't think they like it as much as black metal freaks. Like I said, they're a little bit more easygoing, they're a little bit more social, they're a little bit more nice, I guess you could say. But they're also very strict about their death metal being old, putrid, filthy, raw, and disgusting, which I think is fucking awesome. Hails to you OSDM freaks. Because I even love OSDM, and the new wave of OSDM is great, and the old stuff is great too. And some of them will drink beers, some of them might smoke pot. Actually, I know a lot of death metalers are into weed. Again, just my opinion. This is just what I've observed personally in my own life and being around many different types of metalheads. They might even drop acid once in a while, do shrooms, that type of thing. Now, are death metalers family men? I would say they're a lot more inclined to have families than black metal freaks, obviously. Some of them will be married. Some of them will have girlfriends. Actually, I would say a lot of them enjoy the company of others a lot more than black metal freaks, okay? So, and they do take their art seriously. I mean, let's be real. There is emotion in death metal, and there is a meaning to it. It's not just shock, violence, gore, and dismemberment, but they're very fascinated with the morbid and the macabre, okay? Like I said, definite horror movie freaks. They're probably going to have some of the goriest horror movies in human history imaginable. And they're not going to be super uptight. They're going to be a lot more easygoing than people that love black metal like myself. But they're going to be a little bit more well-rounded when it comes to wanting to be around other people. I'd say about 30% more, 40% more than we do. They would be social. But again, they're still pretty serious dudes. They do like to let loose and have fun and unwind and have a good time, but they're not super party animals. Like another metal personality we're going to talk about in the next video. But I would say death metalers are kind of in the middle between party animals and recluses. They're like the happy medium in that type thing. Some of them are very critical and outspoken, which I think is awesome. Some of them do enjoy controversy, others don't. Some of them are contrarian, some of them aren't. As far as their stance on government and stuff, I would hope they're very anti-government and very anarchist, just like black metalers. And I do think there is a lot more room for negotiation and compromise with death metalers than there is black metalers, definitely. And probably the old burning question many of you have is, do black and death metalers hate each other? No, absolutely not. In fact, I would say that we get along with death metalers probably a lot better than we get along with other types of metalheads and other metal personalities. So, yeah. There you have it. Those are my thoughts on the Death Metaler. This was part 2, metal personalities, death metal, or death metalers. And, yeah, they're generally really cool fucking people. They do take their music very seriously, but as I said, they're a lot more easygoing in a lot of ways than us. But yeah, very cool people. Like, comment, subscribe, join the channel for $2.49 for your first month, $4.99 thereafter. Get access to exclusive content, review requests within reason, banner interviews, and promotions. Cadaver Right and Holocaust going to be interviewed on the channel this year. Also, go check out Holocaust, Raging Lightning, the EP. It's uploaded to my channel under band promotions. And those are just a few things you get for joining the channel. Coming up Tuesday, January 24th, the review of Scarab, the Serpents of the Nile. This was requested by Lane Hainsley, member request. And yeah, so that's coming up. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Hails.